Jim, it's just an extraordinary sign of arrogance from the Hawthorn Football Club, the chief intimately involved. They have surrounded this ground with their premiership flags in what is supposed to be a neutral stage, the MCG.
Couldn't agree with you anymore.
So on what basis do they get to take ownership of the ground, Chief?
Everyone's allowed to, Jug. It's just hard to surround an oval with one flag.
Have you ever known a man to be able to deliver it?
As I said, the arrogance that comes out of this football club.
You started the sledging, so you're going to cop it when you started, all right?
I was just pointing out.
Need to be a big flag.
And you're not bullying him either, are you?
Well, it's a nice segue into what, Juddy, I know you a keen observer of what happened during the week up in Sydney, of course, with GWS and the Swans. How does all of the discussion sit with you?
Well, I was very excited by the King's article today, saying that any individual sledging full stop should be banned, which I think was an interesting initiative.
Hang on, the King being Wayne Carey saying this?
Toying with the idea of maybe the AFL could start a Satisfactory sledging committee, of which I'd be happy to put my name up as the chairman. Really? And we could have players write in on a Thursday afternoon about the sledges they're proposing on the weekend. We could either give them the green light or the red light, depending on if they were...
The SSC.
The SSC. And we'd need a few study trips, obviously.
New York?
The Chinese are years ahead of sledging, so I think Hong Kong and China would be on the list for a study tour, and maybe the States around Super Bowl time as well, just to see what the other codes are doing. Because we want to be ahead of the game, Purple.
Champions League final in Germany?
Well, I think it'd be rude not to be there. And see what the other countries are doing, really get ahead of the game, Purple. So I'm happy to be a part of that. We'd be a part of the integrity unit. I wouldn't obviously answer to Brett Clothier, but...
No, you don't answer to anyone.
I don't think so. It'd be a standalone unit.
The cloth?
But I think it's important, and I think Duck's raised some very good points.
Well, what did he raise? For those people who haven't read his article in The Age today, it seemed to fly in the face of what he said on radio 48 hours earlier.
Well, he believes that you shouldn't be able to say anything that's not football related on a football field. And Chief, we got your support. Is the SSC got your support in this movement?
I like the theory behind it. Absolutely. It's interesting though, because I reckon there's a few out there that don't always prepare their sledges. Some of them are quick-witted and it just rolls off the tongue when they get there. So you're taking away the ability to actually be spontaneous. That's my only concern with it.
Okay.
What I always find...
Chief may be taking the SSC a little bit too literally.
But has the Duck done an about-face?
He's done one of the great backflips of all time.
It needs to be addressed tomorrow at the Saturday Rub.
You need to actually address this with him and find out what is going on.
Norton's a man who hasn't taken a backward step in his life.
We might need two segments for this, Jim. It's extraordinary turnaround.
Yeah, he was one that took exception to the fact that what was reported about Shane Mumford, like me, the line that has been reported, that we're only aware of what he said, is, aren't you normally on holidays this time? And I was one that thought that was within the bounds of... it wouldn't have to go to your committee, Juddy, that one. That one you'd just be able to get out there, and that's well within the line, because you get educated on the line, Damo. You get told where it is, and so anything, from my understanding, below the line is fine. If you go over it, well, you get dealt with, Juddy.
Well, that's a good point, but when arguably the greatest player of the game comes out and says this, do you sort of feel that you probably owe Dean Cox an apology, considering he's born with a big nose? He can't help that. It's part of who he is.
See, I forgot that completely until you brought it up a couple of weeks ago, and that, to me, they're the things that make you laugh the most. I mean, someone having a crack at you on the football field, to me, is just as humorous as it possibly gets, and you can't take offence unless it's in the category that we know, which is racial and religious vilification. It was game on, and it was an entertaining part. And the thing, when you catch up with Dean Cox and have a beer, you'll have a laugh about those exact things.
Do you take offence when Chief calls you a bottle cleaner? What do you call him? A pipe cleaner and a head in the vice and all that sort of stuff?
I take more offence that you have to recycle it and bring it up. And I sat in this chair, and the first words that were uttered to me were pencil neck, pipe cleaning,
Mr. Squiggle.
Mr. Squiggle.
And you can't compare it to something you say to someone at the water cooler at work. It's just a different environment.
Yeah.
I was wondering...
Is it though? Is it?
Yes, it is, Purple.
It's still a workplace, isn't
Trust me, I've been out there, Purple. Very different.
It's a workplace, though, and it's the reason we're talking about this.
But it's a combative,
but
aggressive...
it's a unique work. You tackle people and throw them to the ground. You're bumping them as hard as you can. You're trying to knee them in the back of the head. Do that at the water cooler.
Standing on the water cooler and just hammering someone into the deck.
It's a unique environment, and we can't get away from the fact that you come here to escape the real world.
Well, we're going to have a look at Duck. I'm sorry. It's one of the great backflips of all time.
Very uncharacteristic from that man. I reckon someone's got it in him.
There has to. It can be the only way that it could have happened. This man never taken a backward step in his life.
Very un-king-like it was.
Well, I think it was. And we just need to get to the bottom of it, Duke.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think the copywriter or someone has got hold of his work, and his name shouldn't have been on the byline. I don't think it's possible that he would do that, Chief.
I'm not sure he's expecting any sort of kickback tomorrow. I did see him in the coffee room earlier. He's still got a little bit of swagger about the boy. Pretty comfortable with where he's standing.
Well, no doubt about that. All I want to see tomorrow is just who takes him to task over it, because if it's Spud,
no, that won't work.
All that happens in the Rub studios in South Melbourne is Duck. He only needs to look remotely sideways at Spud, and Spud becomes like one of those Labradors that just turns on his back with his legs in the air and waits for death to come.
I think he's going to be cast, Spud. I think we might have to roll Juddy in tomorrow just to front the king and take him to task, Juddy, because I know you had your eyebrows raised over that one.
Well, I was as confused as anyone, but it would certainly be very good to get to the bottom of it.
Is it possible to lay a claim on someone retrospectively? Because Merv Hughes for 10 years. I would like... There must be a council that I can actually go to.
Juddy's council.
Yeah, exactly right.
There'll be a parent company of another
There'll be a fee for service for retrospective claims.
Ricky Gervais, I think, is the man, Juddy, who was quoted as saying, just because you're outraged doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
That's something we need to remember.
I claimed it as my own, but I'm sure Ricky...
It is very important to remember that.
We're becoming a permanent outraged society and community, and particularly here in Melbourne and Australia. It is out of control.
A man who would have been exposed, I think, quite regularly to the Chiefs' very acerbic tongue, and not only on the field but also on the track, was the great Ben Dixon.
I was a father figure.
A decent snozzy himself.
Yeah, exactly. And welcome to you, Dicko.
Oh, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Dars, for the intro. I take offence at that.
What sort of setup was the Chief? When you first, as a young man, impressionable young man, walked into Hawthorn, what did you find?
Nurturing.
Yeah, he didn't speak to anyone. I've mentioned guys that went under his captaincy. I've mentioned their names. He goes, who are they?
Chief. He makes names
Hey,
up.
can I just quickly jump in, Jim? Juddy brought up before about the water cooler, and then Chief jumps in and goes, oh, imagine getting tackled at a water cooler. I've seen him tackle a man at a bar... And over a table, and then put him to sleep.
You're an idiot.
And that is a true story.
Yeah, but you wouldn't go to sleep, unfortunately.
And Campbell Brown came into the rush hour today and guaranteed rush hour family members fill up on the synthetic track at Geelong, and in it came at $5. So Triple M listeners are happy with certainly what Campbell's bringing to the table.
Don't you love when the dog tips a $5 winner and he gets the $8 and waits for the price to go? And he goes, righto, boys, jump on. Miss Scrimpton, I think it was. Shrimpton. So, the dog gave us a late mail. He's Sandra Sully's. That's his new nickname at Crown Bet.
Anything for you, from you, for punters over the weekend?
Yeah, we've got tomorrow, race 2, the 16, to Coco. It's $17 to $9.50. Get on now. And
already missed the $17.
I'm not Sandra Sully, but I'm telling you to get on. Now, Lukey Tuttercliffe, who's next to me, has just pinched the price. It's into $9 now as we speak, so I'm not sure how much he's throwing around. Oh, thanks, boys, and if you're gambling, please do so responsibly.
Good on you, Dicko.
Chief!
He's not right, that boy. He's definitely not right.
He's quite keen to get out of here, Chief. That's what I've noticed.
He must be swooping up tonight, I get the feeling. Yeah, there it is. Not on the head. Look out. Hurricane Dixon's in town.